and get back on track situation, not playing from behind the sticks.
You get a chance to talk to Shedeur after the game, and what was that conversation like?
Real good. See him, catch up with him. Just let him know, I'm here. I'm excited to, see him keep going, and he's gonna continue to, make plays for Cleveland. He's a good quarterback, and so I'm excited to have him as a friend.
What is going on, guys? It's Keith from Black Quarterback Series. Today, a little bit of a different spot. Like I said in my other video, I'll tell you guys about that later. So, we have a rookie showcase. It's going to start with the Lamar stuff, but I think the rookie showcase is a little more positive. So, let's get into it. Cam Ward, 14 for 28, 177 yards, 2 touchdowns, and interception. Shedeur Sanders, best game of his career so far, 23 for 42, 364 yards, rushing touchdown, three passing touchdowns and an interception. Which one of the interception I think was a typical overthrow. I think he misplaced it a little bit and they got their hands on it. So we're gonna get the dumb stuff out the way first, and then we're gonna just talk about football. So I think it's known that Kevin Stefanski has to go. You don't take the 2-pointer. Well, you do take the 2-pointer, but you do it on some little rascals rugby playing the sand, and you take your best offensive player off the field, and then before that, you go for the 2 and don't get it. It's like, what are we doing? We know what he's doing. He's sabotaging. He don't want to live with the fact that Shedeur is better than Dylan Gabriel, and he's showing it every chance he gets. He's showing he's better than Dylan Gabriel. He's showing that he's going to be in the NFL for a long time, unlike Dylan Gabriel. Talking to my brother yesterday, I said Dylan Gabriel going to be working at the post office with you next year. So it's like, what are we doing here? It's obvious that the Cleveland Browns don't want to win this way. And you can go into a myriad of things, even like stuff outside of football and sports. These guys want to win their way, and they will lose their way to prove that their way does not work. Instead of changing what they want to do to win. That goes to the Chris Paul situation. Shout out to my NBA guys. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Clippers released Chris Paul because he was holding people accountable, and that's just not what they do over there. So the same thing can be said for Cleveland. You're not trying to win as much as we think you are. You know what I mean? You're not trying to win like we think you were trying to win. And that goes to this game here. 2-point conversion, and you keep Shedeur off the field. Like, they never started running Wildcat until Shedeur started playing. They didn't run Wildcat the whole time Dylan Gabriel was in there. They let Dylan Gabriel throw the ball 50 times, and it's just a setup for failure when the success is right there. I think the team is playing better with Sanders in there, typically based off the fact that they want to play for him. They see a chance for him to win. You hear Myles Garrett every week talk glowingly about how great he is. So I don't understand. You'd rather lose your way than win a different type of way. Everybody's not in the business of winning, apparently. And it's, ugh. So what I wrote on here is coach is a dummy. They'll lose his way. The teammate plays for Sanders. The defense was put in some bad positions, so I was gonna come on and say the defense played value, gave them all them yards and touchdowns to a 12 team, but they were kind of put in some bad situations. The interception, the block punt, led to 2 touchdowns, flip of the fields. I'm not really concerned about that. Harold Fannin Jr., 8 receptions, 114 yards and a touchdown. I think he's a rookie, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not right, I definitely vet myself. So Harold Fannin Jr. is a rookie. He has rapport with Shedeur because they've been practicing and everything together. Shout out to Jared Judy for playing ball yesterday. I got on him a few weeks ago, and he did what he was supposed to do today. Shout out to him. Yeah, this is just a good team fight. But unfortunately, they didn't win because their coaches was sabotaging. So, the Tennessee. I've always said I just want to see flashes. I want to see flashes from Cam Ward, and then when we get stuff around him, it'll be better. He showed flashes today. He went blow for blow for the most part with Shedeur. Like I said his numbers earlier, and they ran the ball more than Cleveland did. Tony Pollard, who's carving out a really good career for himself, 25 carries, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cam Ward, 2 touchdowns, interception. The interception, he looked like he didn't see Devin Bush. He looked like he was trying to look him off, or Devin Bush dropped in coverage and he got caught. And Devin Bush got it. And I don't think he returned it for a touchdown, but I know he returned it to like the 5 or something like that. So Cam Ward played well. Cam Ward has been playing like this all year, where he'll have some old wows, and he was like, okay, he needs to work on that. So Cam Ward will be fine. Let's put some more talent around him. Like, I would love to see Cam Ward with like a 49ers type team, where the run game is number one, and then we're going to pass if we need to. But otherwise, the 2 rookies showed out. I was very impressed with both rookies. Both rookies will be around for a long time. And, yeah. Shout out to the rookies. So, y'all already know what was the next game. It would have led the show if the rookies didn't ball. Lamar freaking Jackson versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. 19 for 35, 219 yards, a touchdown. The interception was on him. He was trying too hard to make a play. Tip ball, interception. So, this is a bad football team. This is a bad football team, guys. Like, there's no qualms about it that this is a bad football team, and we need to be realistic about that. Lamar Jackson is not playing top 5 this year. He's not playing top 10 this year. I'm strong argument that he's playing top 15, top 20. And that's not Lamar Jackson's game. Like, even with Pat, and the way Pat played yesterday, you still make an argument Pat's top 5. You can't make that argument with Lamar Jackson this year. I'm going to have him in my top 5 because it's not all his fault. But I could see if somebody made a rational reason as to why he's not top 5. Like, I don't want to hear, he quit, or he this. There's reasons. There's a difference between excuses and reasons. Excuses have no logic in them. They're just excuses. Reasonings, he has a bottom offensive line. I've never seen a team, I put this on Twitter a few days ago, I've never seen a team fail their quarterback the way Baltimore Ravens fail their quarterbacks, or fail Lamar Jackson. The amount of drops and just overall bad play, because I don't know if you guys are on Twitter like I am, chronically online. There's a video circulating from a coach or an analyst. He does really good content, where the final play of the final drive would have won them the game if Mr. 3-year, $40 million didn't get in the way of D-Hop making a game-winning catch. It was possible. If you see from the all-22, if I can find it, I'll put it on the screen. D-Hop is in the back like, hey, Lamar, hey. Lamar stops running, passes the ball, steps up, and throws a rifle to Hop. And out of nowhere, it's kind of like he had points on the game, on some Blue Mountain State type thing. You see what is his name? Andrews. You see Aaron Andrews come out of nowhere and essentially play defender and bat the ball down. And you can see D-Hop like, oh my God. And you can see Lamar like, no, like Andrews need to go, but they signed a 5 years, so they're gonna franchise likely and keep Andrews, who's done nothing for us the last 2 seasons. Like I've been saying, Andrews needs to go. They look better in the second half. Bad play calling as usual. I shouldn't be able to dictate what you're going to do. You're going to run the ball, pass. Pass might not go nowhere. You might throw a play action in their first down every now and then. But for the ultimate part, you're going to run, pass. And you might run, pass. You might throw a bubble in there. You might give the ball to Henry again, depending on depending on how the game going. But for me to know what the game plan is going to be for the most part, is like, we got to be better. But we already know how this game go. So they're sitting at 6-7. And you'd be like, Keith, what do you ultimately think of Baltimore being unbiased? I try my best to be unbiased in this breakdown. But what do you think of the Baltimore Ravens right now? I think they're a battered team. I think they're a tired team. Camera died. What would you say to me if Keith, how do you feel? Battered team, tired team, just discombobulated team. They don't do well of handling adversity. They don't do well handling success. The coach is terrible. I think the time is passing by. He needs to go. Our head coach, who should be coaching this team, is coaching Seattle to their 10 win back to back seasons and looking like the Super Bowl contenders. And if the Rams were in their division, they'd be leading their division. The defense looks like we don't know what defense is anymore. We beat bad teams, but we struggle against good teams, and we have no chance against great teams. 5 straight wins, looking a little fraudulent. Lamar Jackson's frustrated. I don't know how much y'all believe in them rumors on the Reddit thread of Lamar Jackson's been trying to get John Harbaugh fired for a long time because John Harbaugh just refuses to change. Falele needs to go. Whole offensive line needs to start over. And like, I did a Houston video yesterday. It'll be at the card at the end. Houston also has a bad offensive line. D'Amico Ryans didn't double down, but granted, as black folks, we don't have the luxury of being this ignorant and stupid, right? So he didn't double down on his terrible offensive line. They tried to move people around. They tried to bring people in. They've rotated. They've tried to redo this offensive line. And it's at a point where it's still bad, but it's not as terrible as it was. Now, granted, you got a top 5 defense, the defense, and it's been giving people hell for like the last few weeks. So that also has a lot to do with it. But CJ Stroud played great yesterday. So I'm recording this Monday. So CJ Stroud played well. And Lamar Jackson has played well. We can blame all this stuff on Lamar Jackson, but at the end of the day, if Likely scores the touchdown, if Andrew scores the touchdown, if players catch the ball when they're supposed to catch the ball, we're looking at Lamar Jackson last 5 weeks a lot different. He's hurt. He's not playing as well. This is one of those seasons that you throw away when it's over. Like, I get it. But this team needs an overhaul. I'm of the effect of let's trade Lamar Jackson so I never got to cover you guys again. That's what if you ask Keith what he really want, I want Lamar Jackson to leave this Baltimore Ravens team so I never have to watch them again. I don't even like saying that, but that's really what I want. I wish he would have went to Atlanta. I wish he would go to the 49ers. I wish he would go to an organization that gives an F. The Colts. Like, that's my honest opinion. That's my honest opinion on the Baltimore Ravens. And I feel sick for diehards. Because I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a diehard. I've been a Baltimore Ravens fan for Ray Lewis damn near my whole life. But I wouldn't call myself a diehard. And I just want better for the organization. I want better for Lamar Jackson. Hell, I want better for Zay Flowers. Like, I don't want nobody to suffer other than John Harbaugh, who is literally destroying his team because he doesn't understand that it's time for him to go. Or like, I don't know why it's so dark, guys. I'm not sure why it's dark like that. It's time to go. It's time to go. That's really all I have to say. It's time for this team to be overhauled.
More on the, I don't think I got to it, the likely catch. The likely catch that wasn't a touchdown. So at first, when it first happened, I was like, well, he didn't complete the catch. It was the right call, blah, blah, blah. But after going through the internet and reading up and searching on everything, this has been called a touchdown multiple times. 2 feet, possession of the ball, plays over. And that's the winning drive, right? I don't like to be the rigged guy. Y'all know how I feel about that. But it really feels like the NFL has an axe to grind with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Baltimore Ravens are terrible. They probably would have lost the game in another way. But they got hold out of that. That should have been a touchdown. And for the NFL to come out and say, oh, we messed up on the other The other play that cost them points as well. It's just like it just seems like nobody gets these calls against them like the Ravens do. The Ravens and the Ravens and Lamar Jackson and the guys just have to play perfect football in order to win. No other franchise has that slim margin of error but the Ravens. That's really all I have to say about that. Terrible call. Terrible call.
And so the last game of the day, it's a relatively short week because a lot of our guys are playing on Thursday night, or a lot of our guys are playing prime time. And we coming down to the end of the season, so I'm not talking about as many teams. So shout out to Jacoby Brissett, shout out to him. Didn't watch that game. Vegas is just terrible. I think Dallas is on a bye, if I'm not mistaken. And so it's a pretty light week. So the last game, probably one of the better games of the year. And I had to rewatch this game a few times to get the whole ordeal of it. So I'm watching the Bears Green Bay. So Caleb Williams, 19 for 35, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Caleb Love, 17 for 25, 239 yards, 3 touchdowns. The interception was a force on third down. And the interception for Williams was a force on fourth down that ultimately lost in the game because it was 24 seconds left there. They had to have it. So one of the funner games of the year. I wrote down this is one of them games where you fall in love with football, and it feels like one of those games. It's big time rivalry. Both heavyweights going blow for blow. If it wasn't for all the other stuff in this week, this probably would have led the show. Caleb Williams is starting to look like a top 10 guy. He's starting, and I feel like I've been saying this. His herky-jerky style is not my favorite style to watch. It's very erratic, and but Ben Johnson has nailed down the specifics. He's playing well right now. He made some throws in this game. I'm like, oh wow, that dude look like Patrick Mahomes. So, shout out to Caleb Williams. You've made me a believer in you. Nails and all, but like. He's playing ball right now. You can't deny that. Caleb Williams is playing some good football right now, and that's what has them top 2-3 team in the league right now. Jordan Love played also. He played just as well. My thing with Jordan Love is just, can you play like this against teams that are not as good? A team you don't see every 2 times a year. Jacobs was 20 carries. What else? I can't read my own writing. 20 carries for 86 yards and a touchdown. Jacoby Jacobs made some big plays. Is this Jacoby? It's one of the Jacobs. He made some big plays. Probably the play on third down to get that first down that kept the drive alive. So ultimately, that's a great game. Nothing like the super takeaway from it. They're going to see each other again in a few weeks, and if it's as good as this game, they'll probably lead the show. But in a stacked day like today, it did not lead the show. So we're gonna finish with the injuries. So Daniel Jones, Achilles. Jaden Daniels, I didn't put nothing because they didn't put it, but I'm gonna say everything. Jaden Daniels should have not played the rest of the season after he got the first injury. So Daniel Jones' Achilles is terrible because AR is already hurt. So it ain't like Anthony Richardson gonna play. And I'm not, no disrespect to the guy, but they had some nobody in there. I don't know his name. Daniel Jones was playing well this year. This was a resurgent year for him. Now, I will say that you make Daniel Jones beat you, you're going to have a long day. Or you make Daniel Jones the primary force, you force him to pass, the coach are going to have a long day. But that don't change the fact that he was having a great season. So they're sliding. I expect them to not make the playoffs. And Houston might get that home playoff game for that. See, now I want to pop up and be all light in my face, like, boy, these phones, man, these phones. But yeah. So that's a huge blow, but that's also a major uptick for anybody trying to make the playoffs in the AFC. The AFC playoffs is getting a little more crystallized. With yesterday's loss, Houston beating Kansas City, it's almost a foregone conclusion that they're not going to make the playoffs because they can't win their division. They can't win their division because Denver is running away and hiding with the AFC number 1 seed right now. But I don't think this is a hot take that I don't believe in none of the top teams in the AFC. I don't believe in Denver. I don't believe in the Patriots. Like I don't believe in neither one of those teams. I think those teams are on upset alert because they're so young, and this will be their first real taste of playoffs. I think Houston could get them. Baltimore get in, they could get them. Lord forbid, Josh and them. This, if any year was going to be the year that they get to the Super Bowl, this would be the year that Josh Allen get to the Super Bowl and then get his doors blown off by whoever makes it out the NFC. Because I don't think that Bills team has a chance against any of the big dogs in the NFC. But yeah, Daniel Jones' injury really changes a lot in the AFC landscape because who's their quarterback now? So let me know what you guys think about any of this, and talk to you guys later. Peace.